Welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities. Presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guests to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, four-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, co-founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP, and owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting. Tonight we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name of Sharita Humphrey. A little bit about her. Sharita Humphrey is a certified financial educator, coach, and speaker. Sharita has been featured in articles published in allbusiness.com, Forbes, MSN, Voyage Houston, and Beautifully Said magazine. Sharita has also secured a partnership and brand ambassador position with Self-Lender. Sharita teaches the middle class and small business community on the importance of financial responsibility and wellness. By doing so, her clients can build positive personal and business credit, eliminate debt, increase their annual savings, and scale their respective businesses. Sharita has created financial capability systems that include webinars, live trainings, and personalized coaching programs to help assist her clients through the process of maintaining positive financial behaviors for a lifetime. Sharita's business purpose, too, is empower those across the country and globally on the importance of financial literacy and how becoming better stewards of our finances is the key to creating generational wealth. Sharita's high-impact debt management mastermind program and ongoing group coaching teaches her clients how to properly manage her business and personal finances. Sharita's Money Mindset Movement 12-week program in partnership with Self-Lender is teaching people across the country to incorporate strategies and resources to assist them in changing their money mindset, credit building, and then improving their current financial position. To learn more about Sharita and her programs, please visit www.sharitamhumphrey.com and reach her on social media at SharitaMH on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram. Welcome to the table, the amazing Sharita Humphrey.
Hello. Thank you so much, Ashley, for having me. I'm super excited to sit at the table.
Yes, and I'm super honored and humbled to have you at the table. As our listeners know, you have an amazing bio. So please tell us more about your entrepreneur journey.
My entrepreneur journey has been one that I cannot believe. I still feel like I'm in the beginning stages. Even after you read my bio, I'm still in awe because I can't believe I walked away from my cushy state government job to start this business when everybody thought it was crazy. This was your job that was on your bucket list. And I just I walked away from the position that I applied for several years and student loan forgiveness. But that did not stop me from creating my business, which was my purpose. And this has been absolutely amazing, especially to be able to partner on a national campaign with someone like amazing company like Self-Lender that is really here to help empower and and help to create better credit profiles. So for them to partner with me and my business was absolutely amazing. And the Money Mindset Movement is truly a movement, and I've seen so many of the participants get to credit scores that they only imagined by working with myself and Self-Lender, and to also see many of them across the country start businesses, side hustles. They're talking to me now. I was just before I came to the table. One of those participants is now my client, and she was super excited to let me know that she is paid. We've just paid her September mortgage in August.
Wow, awesome.
Yes, and so everybody knows me. One of the things is, for those who don't know me that's listening today, one of the things that I tell my clients and the people that I work with, especially when it's on the personal side, that we will get you 1 month ahead in your expenses, because that really helps to reduce the amount of financial stress, and also gives you a opportunity to really get in front of your debt and to really pay yourself first. Because just imagine right now that if you were like one of my clients right now has paid her rent up until November. We're in August. And she is going to be moving and purchasing her first home at the top of the year just by getting in front of her bills, reducing her debt, increasing her credit scores, and now meeting her goal of saving $15,000 well ahead of our schedule of December 31st. It can be done. It does not matter. I work with clients who make about $25,000 to $30,000 a year, and I work with clients that well into the high 600s. Financial success starts with a mindset that is made up that I'm going to create change in my life, in the life of my family, and for legacies to come. That's true wealth. You don't need the bank account to say that you're wealthy. When you have a wealthy mindset, you can create the numbers in your bank account.
I love it. I love it. And you're very passionate about that, Sharita, and that's what I want to talk more about, because you're passionate about financial responsibility and wellness. So tell us more about your passion, because, I mean, as you stated right now, the results are there, right? The results are there. And it's just people have to be more, like you said, more financially educated and just step out there and do it, because, as you stated, it really doesn't matter how much you make. It's all about how you manage it, right? And just getting that knowledge and learning how to do it the right way.
It's about, I'm all about, it's not about what you make, because I get people all the time and they're calling me. They're like, Sharita, I probably can't afford you. I said, but then I get people who can probably afford me 3 times. And I tend to see that the people who can afford me 3 times, they really can't afford me.
Right.
because it's not because they don't have the income. It's because they've spread their finances so thin that they're living paycheck to paycheck. And I'm a firm believer, and I've seen it. Like I just told you guys, I walked away from a state government job. I was an auditor. I've audited everything from your small mom and pops to your mid-sized businesses to your large corporations, whether that's an oil and gas, energy, you name it, I've probably done it. But one thing that I always tell people, especially those who are employees, I want you to start to think about your household as your employee thinks about the business. I encourage all of you that are listening to this, and who even may be listening to this months or years down the road, that we're just going to use me for example. One thing, when people come into who call me, whether it's on the discovery call or they come into one of my programs, I just let them know, I want you from this day forward to think of your household as a business. I said, because you know what, your employer does. When the numbers don't match up, what do? Budget cuts. We just saw that Lowe's is laying off thousands of employees. So if you put, my last name is Humphrey, this is Humphrey Inc. And if it doesn't make sense to our bottom line, we budget it. Yes. We may cut. And so if you start to think about it in that way, then you'll really start to look at your finances and your family's financial legacy in a different way, because the money that you're managing is money that's going to be managed by those after you leave here. And so that's the way that I think about wealth, because I heard something in a group that I'm in, and they said, you know what, if you have children, when every day that you look at your children or you hug your children, you're hugging your children's children. And so I want you guys to think about wealth like that. The money that you have right now should pass your children's children. That's because you've managed it in a way that is going to be sustainable, not just for your lifetime, but for generations to come. And I tell people, wealth is generational, but so is debt. So is that, because a lot of times we continue the financial lack pattern from this generation to just, and I know I'm a person, we didn't talk about finances in our home. Everything that I've learned by trial, error, and experience.
Yes.
Trial, error, and experience. And so I can tell you, like I always tell people, I am not from the wealth side of money. I was raised by a single mother, and like I said, we didn't have talks at the table about money, but I make it it's a must-have in my home, and the people who are attached to me, and those are my clients or anyone who listens to me, follows me, or would like to work with me. You don't know what you don't know, so I don't hold it. People always feel like when they call me that I feel like I got into this rut. I don't know what I'm doing. How can you know about how to properly manage money if it was never displayed or encouraged in your home? And a lot of us hold on to things and beat ourselves up about things that we were not taught. It's different if you know and you just don't do it. That's a difference.
Right.
But you don't know what you don't know. And so that's why I am here, and others like myself, to let you know that it's okay to say that you don't know what you don't know. And the education is the piece that's going to allow you not to just remain financially responsible, but to understand financial capability. And I think that we are always talking financial anything right now is it's the it thing. It's sexy, but to really be able to manage your money for a lifetime requires financial capability. That means that you can manage the money or manage what you have even when things don't look great, or you're not running to payday loans or withdrawing from your 401k just because of a job loss. So those are the things that financial capability, because you end up having the mindset is that I won't go back into the same situation that got me into a financial recovery mode. And so if you are there, let me just let you know, Miss Ashley Little, I always tell every person that I encounter that is telling me that they're going through something financially or just personally, because a lot of times it's just not our finances. When your finances create personal things, stress, depression, so it can become a health. But finances have caused people to have ulcers, extreme depression. So it's more divorces, health, divorces. It's more than money. People get over infidelity more than money because finances kill marriages daily. That's the number one reason for divorce. Finances. That's the number one. You would think of all the things on the planet, but finances are one. You know why? Because without a strong financial foundation, especially for those who are thinking about getting married, please, please, please have those financial talks before you say I do. Don't spend $35,000 on a wedding for one day with people that you may not see 5 years down the road. It's okay to go to the courthouse. It's okay to have it in your backyard. It's okay to cut the list to 20. You don't need 200 if those 200 people are not chipping in.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm just being real. I can tell you, we look, we had 100, but it ended up getting down to 45 because guess what? It was still beautiful.
Because it's more than just a wedding, right? It's more than just one day.
You know what? Because I did not want to turn to him and say, because I have people who I work with, and they've been married for 3, 5, 7 years, still paying off a credit card because they put the whole wedding on the credit card. They put the whole wedding. The average wedding cost in the U.S., most people spend a minimum of $35,000.
Wow.
I don't know enough people that's going to make me want to spend $35. I don't know enough.
You know, that's a big check.
Not for a few hours. Yes. And the thing, no, it's just seriously, and I'm just being very honest with you guys. Me and my husband were very blessed to be able to have some great friends who got the venue very on the low, because when she said, because him and I were like, we could just go to our desk. We could just go do what we want to do, get married here, and just go on a honeymoon. We I have a great girlfriend, and she's like, hey, my gift to you guys is to utilize my country club membership and to get the wedding. When she told me what the original cost was for this wedding, I needed to spend $25,000 US for food and beverage. No. But thank God we didn't even spend 1%. We got money back on our wedding. We paid cash for everything because we said, you know what, I'm a strong believer in what Oprah and Mr. Sean Carter, also better known as Jay-Z, said, if you can't pay for it twice, you probably can't afford it.
That's right. Absolutely.
And so, Ashley, you just bringing me on and having this conversation, I think is very, very critical, because we continue to see thousands of people get laid off. The government shutdown was a warning for us to really get our finances in order, because we're coming into a new year, and we know that when it's not to talk about anything political, but we know when we tend to have those presidential elections, we tend to see sometimes a shift in the economy. So I'm telling for me, I'm on a mission to let everybody know, whether you're my client or not, whether you're working with me or not, please utilize the remainder of this year and the beginning of the new year to really, really manage your finances. It's going to be very, very critical that you do that, because if the banks and or large corporations are looking at their numbers, so should you.
Absolutely. And, nobody wants to have a financial conversation, Sharita, so that's why I like to have financial experts on here, because we have to have these conversations. They are important because it causes, like you said, it causes other things. It's bigger than just finances. It causes causes divorces. It causes friendships. It just causes a lot of different things, and we have to learn to be more financially educated and be more financially aware.
Yes. And I love that. I love what you said, of financially aware, because a lot of times let's just use the 2008 bubble. We saw that thing go from bad to worse.
Yeah.
In a matter of but the thing is it's not like that we didn't see it coming. And so that's the thing, is when you just mentioned financial awareness, it just hit us, a spot with me, because we definitely have to be more. It's more than budgeting at this point, guys. We have to be. We really got to be what Ashley said. You got to be aware. You got to know where your money's going. You can't just be like, oh, okay, I know you only live once. I get it. I like Drake too, but you can't YOLO every month. You can't YOLO every weekend. Because guess what? You can't. Because guess what? You're going to be in the situation, if that's what you're doing, you're going to be, I'm pretty sure that a lot of these employees, Lowe's just mentioned it. I just shared it on social media. It's there. Go to Google it. CNN, Google, whoever your outlet of choice is. They layering off thousands of people. And you know what they said? That for those particular departments, they have to apply for other positions within the company.
Yeah.
How many positions? Okay, if they're laying out thousands, you think they got other thousands positions in the other? Think about that.
Right.
When I read it, I was just like, I need you to be aware. Read that twice. They don't have enough positions for all of you.
See, exactly. You have to be aware.
You have to be aware, and we tend to start to get into the awareness because we're new year, new me, new money. But I told my clients, your new year should start June 1st. And I said we started 2020 planning, especially financially, June 1st. I said because a lot of times let me tell you what happens. And Ashley probably can she's going to be like clapping on this one. We do the same financial pattern, a lot of us, every year. Everything's good,
Right.
top of the year, like January seemed like a long month. January and July, May, they got the same amount of weeks.
Right.
It's the January, May, July, December. They got the same, October, have the same amount of months. It's just that the reason why January seems so long for a lot of us is because what we did in October, November, and December. That's why it seems so long.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first thing that we're doing is we're planning income tax money that we haven't gotten yet. And
that's a whole other topic by itself.
We're planning,
yes.
We're planning money that we don't have, and a lot of people were shocked with this new tax reform. Those tax returns were not as nice as they were in previous years.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so that's where we should be really, really be mindful as we're coming up into, the holiday, before we know it, fall will be here, the holiday seasons come up. And let me tell you something, every retailer has already got your money planned out. Because guess what? A lot of us forget, we always hear that around late August, September, we always hear CNN, CNBC, all of these, Yahoo Finance, they're always talking about, well, that we're just going to use a number. America's rate for Christmas holiday season, it's just consumers will spend $5 million.
Mhm. Mhm.
Or $5 billion. How do they already know? They've already clocked your money.
Right. Right.
They count your money, but you're not counting your money. How do they know that?
Right.
How can they statistically give you every single year? Well, they're going to spend about this much in back to school. They're going to spend about this much around Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas Eve, day after Christmas, January white sale. You know why? Because they have already done, number one, they've had money talks, they have their budget, and they know what sells and what they need to do to drive you into their stores. But we don't know what we don't balance from paycheck to paycheck what we're spending. But the retailers who money that we're giving, that we do business with, they've already mapped out our money for a year.
See, we just have to do better. We have to do better, and which is why I want to ask you this next question: what do you think the number one cause is for the poor management of money?
The number one reason I can say, because I deal with, I'm going to say because I deal with business owners and I deal with, just the regular everyday person. I think a lot of it is the lack of financial knowledge and awareness. Because when you talk to a lot of people, and I can say this, about 70 to 85% of the people who contact me or most people are saying, I don't even know how I got into this mess. How many times have we seen it? I don't care what outlet we're using, what media outlet, if they're talking about money, most people are like, I am just tired of living paycheck to pay. I don't even know how I just keep doing this. And it's all about what you just mentioned a few minutes ago, financial awareness. Because it's not that they're not making the money. Just it is clearly some people just have no idea where their money's going. They don't understand, and it's not because you have some people they know. It's a difference, Ashley. And I say this on every platform that I go on because I want people to know this. It's a difference between paying bills and budgeting.
Oh, it is.
There's a difference.
It's a difference. Yes.
Because you've been paying it's a difference between budgeting and paying bills. Because a lot of people was like, I know, we're just going to use a round number, I know my mortgage or my rent is about $1,000. See, so let me give you a breakdown and an example of paying bills versus budgeting. Paying bills is, okay, I know, let's just for use the person who gets paid on the 1st and the 15th. Okay, I know I got to make sure that I got $500 here for the rent, and I got this other $500 so I can pay on the 1st, on the 1st. But they have forgotten about all the other little stuff that they've been spending, Hulu, Netflix, and all these other little things that seem small because we just so used to paying them. And then, Beyonce or somebody drop a concert.
Right.
Then you see what I'm saying? That's paying bills because that's the difference. Someone who budgets, they know where their money is going because it's already pre-planned. They already know. Okay, Beyonce, I like you. I love Beyonce. I'm from Houston, Texas. Okay?
Yes.
Just in case the Beehive try to come and get me. But I was just saying, if it's not here, if it's, okay, my 1,000, okay, I got this and this. If it's not there, I can't do that. See, someone who budgets it knows exactly what they're doing, and they already have money for those little things because guess what? They paid themselves first. Let me tell you something. I just moved into a new home, but guess what? I got to pay my future self first because I can't. Yes. We can't all be working like this. Miss Ashley has a beautiful show, but I'm sure, and she wants you guys to continue to keep coming to the table. But at some point, she wants to see these things going ahead of her, so she's not working as hard. And that's the same thing that I want that I want for you guys. So that's why budgeting is so key. I know that's not the favorite B word. We like Beyonce. We like all this. You see budgeting, everybody just get quiet. The music drops. But the thing is that's where your wealth starts. In wealth, I think a lot of people are always in this mind, well, I got to be a millionaire to be wealthy. Let me tell you something. I have clients that say, Sharita, if I can have $100,000 strong in savings every year, I don't never have to be wealthy. I just need $30,000, $40,000 to live off of. Because financially independent, being debt-free, I have clients that's debt-free. They still work with me. I'm a financial coach and consultant. And you're thinking to yourself, well, they debt-free. Why are they still working with me? Debt-free is just a seed. That's the beginning. That's not the end all. And I think that's where we need to be clear because I have clients that's debt-free, but they still go to work. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I have clients that are financially free and they're working with me because they're trying to do things and leverage their personal credit. They're trying to start businesses and they're trying to do business credit and they're working with me to be able to leverage all of those things. Because true financial independence for all of you guys, let me make it simple because I know everybody's hearing about the FIRE movement and then we got this thing going on. You need to, if you truly want to, true financial independence is you able to save 25 times of what you spend in a year. So if your lifestyle costs you $50,000 a year, 25 times of that is $1.2 million. That will allow you to live financially independent for 25 years. So you decide your financial independence. But for me, I tell my clients, what is it going to take you to, like they're like, I want to turn this side hustle. I want to be able to leave my job. Okay, so I just started my own thing. I said, okay, well, let's get you to your corporate independence number. What is it going to take for you to be able to sustain this business for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 15 months, 18 months, 2 years? So we work together to make sure that they're there because we already know most businesses take about, 8, sometimes, depending on where you are, average 18, 24 months to really break even. That's a difference between your financially independent numbers.
Right.
You're not there yet. You're not there. And so when I explain that to my clients, they're like, okay. Because when you hear that big number of 25 times, you're like, I'm gonna be working forever. I'm not there.
Right.
But if you're working towards something, and so that's why a lot of people, especially for those who I like to call those workpreneurs, got the side hustle doing it, but they're ready to jump out there. Okay, well let's get you to your corporate independence number. That means that your household is sustainable, and and you have the things that you need to start and grow the business until it becomes profitable. That's what I work with people on. And that's that in between, because a lot of times I'm all about faith. I'm a woman of faith. If you go to my website, the Faith, Family, and Finances, that's just the basis of who I am. A lot of people ask me about that tag. That's more about me, to let people know who I am. It's not about me trying to force my faith or my family or the way that I do finances on you. It just gives you a basis of who Sharita M. Humphrey is. But you have to do what's important, and what allows you to, what Ashley's doing, allows you to create your own table. Because everybody's table and financial situation is going to be different. Everybody doesn't want to be a millionaire. Everybody doesn't want an 800 credit score. Let me tell you something, because everybody, they hashtagging these 800 credit scores. Let me tell you something. That's a whole nother animal. It's a whole nother animal. Trust me. I was like, my husband was like, I don't want to do, he said, Sharita, I don't want to be in the 800 club. You can be there alone. Stay in the 1%. He said, because let me tell you, that's too much stress. Let me just be 735. He don't want to be 750. He said, I just want a random number, Ashley, but I'm just keeping it real. He was just like, I don't.
But look, but he wanted to be good credit, though. He wanted to at least stay in a good standing. Okay.
Yeah, he said, because he said 800, you missed something, you're back in the sevens, you're stressed out, you only can use 1 to 5% to keep it. It's too much stress. He said it's too much stress for him. So he's like, you know what? Let me stay 735, maybe 740. I'm still good. So you have to figure out what's good for you. But the best thing, I don't care what's for everybody, is that I don't want any of you guys that are listening. My only challenge to you for the remainder of the year and going into the new year is to make a sound budget. And I don't care if you use Mint, you need a budget, Excel, Google Docs, whatever. Just challenge yourself to start one. If you don't have one, do it. If you have one, tweak it. If you are thinking about it, you're on the fence, you've been writing it, whatever. This is a time of financial awareness. We can't go into the same new year with the same ideas that it's going to be the same way, because a lot of times, especially us people of color, new year, new me, new year. How many of those years have it been like that? And so this is just for everybody. Challenge yourself to make this your last year, that if you are in a financial recovery mode or you just feel like you're financially stressed out, that this is going to be not even the last year. Today, when you're listening to this is going to be the last time that I'm living like this. If your goal is I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck, then save 1%. Keep increasing that until you get to 10%. Keep increasing it until you get to 20%. I had a client who told me in January, I can't afford you. She said, I can't afford to pay you. But guess what? She started in April. She started with me in April. But now we just had a call right before this. She's like, Sharita, I'm saving $15,000 in 2020. And she said, it's not going to, she said, this same time next year, I'm going to have $15,000 in a money market account. She said, that's what's going to buy my investment property. That's what's going to, yeah. So you can do it. This is a person who told me in January of this year, she couldn't afford me. But she's like, you know what? I can't afford not to keep doing the same thing. And let me tell you something. I don't care whatever financial person that you follow, you can't afford not to invest in you. You can't afford. Your best investment is knowledge. That's wealth. No one can take that from you. When you're able to create your own thing, I did not grow up in a house. I'm a person who I was homeless. Anybody who follows me, go to Instagram. It's there. I hashtag that. I went from homeless to homeowner, from the floor to Forbes. The floor means I was sleeping on the floor. So the things that I'm sharing with you guys, I'm being very transparent. The floor was really it. I was sleeping on the floor, trying to figure it out. But Forbes last year said I was one of the fastest growing businesses in 2018. From the floor to Forbes.
Okay. Okay.
So the hashtags
right.
is real. I'm not just trying to pick something that's
You're
popular.
not just playing, right? Yes.
I'm not saying anything about I know hashtags are important, but that hashtag is personal. That's a motivator not only for me, but that's just to give someone else hope that's maybe sleeping on the floor. Because I met a young lady in January. I was on a panel, and she walked up to me and just hugged me, and she said, "You know what? I didn't even have the money to come to this event, but she said somebody owed me something, and I just used it and came here in faith." And she said, and the person who I walked in because I was running late, she said, I'm sleeping on the floor with 2 kids in somebody else's living room. So if the reason why I'm so passionate about this, because whatever you're going through in your life is not just about you.
That's right. It's for somebody else. It's always for someone else.
It's not about it. I didn't know that young lady. I didn't know she was coming. She sent me she snapped it and sent me a direct message on Instagram just so she can show me. She said I was sleeping. She said when I leave this event, I was sleeping on the floor. You just being transparent and being real just gave me hope. Let me tell you, I just ran into this young lady a month ago. She's in her new place. It's more than money. It's a mindset. So you can't change the dynamics of your financial trajectory without changing your mind. Because let me tell you something, and we heard it, this is biblical. A fool and their money shall soon part. So the same habits that you have with more money is not going to change your lifestyle, because if that's the case, we see a lot of celebrities leaving here prematurely, and they got all the money. They have all the money.
Because you got to be happy. You got to be happy inside and out. You know, you can't be publicly. I had somebody say that last night on my show. You don't want to be a public success and a private failure. So
yeah,
that's so true.
I am so glad that Ashley had me on this show. I'm very appreciative of this, because I think a lot of times is the internet will have people in a financial position or paying for lifestyles that they really can't afford to keep up.
Absolutely. So tell us about your money mindset movement. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so the money mindset movement, like I said, it's in part, it was a partnership with Self-Lender and I. They were excited and wanted to really get into more people's, get more people to be more aware of how important credit is. And so they partnered with me, and I created the Money Mindset Movement. And basically that Money Mindset Movement was, like I said, a national campaign for me to help those who were below credit scores of 600 to help them get out of subprime rates. That just concluded in June, and it was absolutely phenomenal because we really dug in. It was truly a money mindset movement. To really be able to change the financial trajectory of your life, you had to change your mindset, which would modify your money behaviors, which would shift your money position. And so that was a phenomenal thing that I did, and I look forward, because I'm getting a lot of messages. A lot of people are trying to come into the private Facebook group that Self-Lender sponsored just to kind of get the information. Got so many great testimonials. People just like, this thing was just life-changing, because you just didn't talk about the general things of what's already out there, what's going on with money. They really got to work with me for those who could not afford me. And the great thing about this partnership is nationally people got to work with me absolutely free, because it was in sponsorship. It was in a partnership and sponsored by self-lender. And so that was in a phenomenal way. And literally we met every week for 12 weeks. They jumped on my calendar. They got the same services and got to work with me one-on-one. And we just deep dived into where they were on their credit. We looked at budgeting. I helped them set up budgets, credit, savings, money markets. We went over LexisNexis. I mean, when I say we peeled back the financial and credit and wealth layers, we did it all inside of that program. And if you want to know more about it, you can definitely go over to my site. Ashley mentioned it. It's SharitaHumphrey.com. Definitely jump on the newsletter because people were asking me, will I roll it back out in January? in the fall. And so I'm really thinking about it. If more people are more interested in it, I will open it back up this year. If not, it will come back at the top of 2020. But it is truly a way for you to just deep dive and just really shift your mindset, so that way you can really see the leaks that are in your spending plan, and to also really help to modify things that you may feel like they're just out of reach, like home ownership, better credit, getting out of those $500, $600, $700, $8,000 car notes, because I see it, and you're paying for them for 7 years after you put down $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 of your tax money. So I really dived in and just kind of let you know how to leverage it so that those things won't happen and you're not paying for stuff twice. So we really just, when I say we dived in. And if you would like to know more about it, I am offering on Ashley's show. If you go to my website and you put in go to the contact page and just want to do a 15-minute discovery call with me for those who are listening on this, and if you put Ashley inside of how did you hear about me, I will actually adjust that time for 30 minutes. So you can use 30 minutes to pick my brain, discuss whatever financial situations that you may be having, whatever pain points that you have. If you want to know about credit, you want to learn a little bit more about self-lender, how I built my credit score from 300 to 800, the door is open for those who would like to talk to me about that. All you have to do is go to my website again, put in the contact page. We'll get a link. Make sure when it says, how did you hear about me, put in Ashley Little, and I will adjust that time, and we'll talk for 30 minutes about whatever you want to talk about, and I'll give you some resources and some tools that will help you get on your way, and that is absolutely complimentary to all of your show listeners.
Thank you so much, Sharita. That's so amazing. So my listeners that are listening, take advantage of this opportunity, especially the ones that need to be better with their finances, right? Because that is very important with us, with starting businesses, with, personal, professional, in every area of finances. That's one of the things that are important to make sure that we stay healthy inside and out, because as we said it before, it's more than just finance. It creates a whole lot of other problems when it's not together. So,
yes,
Sharita, you have your Mastermind Program. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so the Mastermind Program, if you go to my website, I stay busy, and I like to educate you guys. I really, really do. That Mastermind Program is it would be the next level outside of the money mindset movement. Those are for those who are really ready to that they're saying to level up, whether that is you may have your credit in order, but you really want to know so what's the next thing? I got my credit in order. I may have my house, but am I really managing and leveraging these things so that way I can really create wealth? So that program is very, very, very high intense. We're going to really go deep dive in. You really get to work with me one-on-one. There's office hours included inside of that. So we work to make sure that we create a plan for you that really, really works. Because most of the time for you to work with me and to come into that, everybody has to go through, I have almost like the colleges, a prerequisites, which is a blueprint planning session, because that just lets me get an idea of where you are financially, where you are in your credit, where your mindset is, what your values are, and what your goals are. So in that session, I create a financial roadmap for you. So that same financial roadmap will carry you through the money mindset movement and then onto the debt management program, because once I build benchmarks and goals inside of there, and when you're going inside of that, the mastermind, we really make sure that you reach those goals by the time that the program is over. And it is amazing. That program is very limited. Very, very limited, because I'm very hands-on. If any person that has ever worked with me, they always say that I'm very hands-on, no matter if it's from the phone call to just get to know me and for me to get to know you, all the way to my masterminds. I am a person who believes in Chick-fil-A service, especially when I'm dealing with my clients, or even for those who are just inquiring about my business, because I believe in serving finance and excellence. And to be able to do that, I'm not consumed with the amount of numbers. My numbers come from the impact that my clients make and the wealth that they're able to generate for their families. So that's why I kind of make sure that I don't open it up so much to the masses, because I want to be able to keep that. And that is a core thing of my business, is to be able to serve, whether I'm doing it as a coach or a consultant, whether I'm working on the personal side or I'm working on the business. So that's why I always make sure that I always ask that everybody who's considering or just want to learn more about me and how I do business go through that discovery call. And that's why I made sure that I wanted to extend that to your show listeners, because I know 15 minutes can go by fast, so I want to make sure that I add on an additional 15 minutes for your show listeners. So that if there is something that they've been just sitting and thinking about financially, or they're just having some questions about their credit, or there's a creditor or a collection agency or anything that's just bothering them and need a little bit more time to discuss it, that's why I wanted to make sure that I added a little bit more time for your listeners.
I love it. I love it. So definitely connect with Sharita. She is definitely someone to know. She is someone to know. Would you please tell us more? And I always ask my guests this question, Sharita, and I know you already built your table. You built several. So how did you create your seat at the table?
I created my seat at the table, and I say this on everything because I hope that this couple one day, I hope that this one couple that was my very last audit or case when I was with the state government will hear this, and will hear this and will contact me. They were the reason why I actually left my job, and that's not in a bad way. I just want to say thank you to them and to bless them, and to pushing and helping to push me into my purpose, because as a state government auditor and analyst, unfortunately, it was a conflict of interest to educate the community on how to really not only stay compliant with the state and federal government, but to also know how to stay savvy and educated in their personal business finances. And so once I saw how much they gave of their hard-earned money to be able to create wealth for themselves and to lose it for a few $1,000s, that was done. That was it for me. And so they helped me to create the table because I just stepped out on faith. I gave my 2 weeks notice. It took me a month because, of course, they're like, Sharita, you're crazy. You're leaving your job for some people that you don't know. And I said, I'm going to help more people that I don't know. And so now I'm helping more people across the country who've never met me. They've only worked with me virtually, or when I go to the city, I call and I let them know, hey, I'm in your city. Do you know how great that feels to be able to work with people and who've entrusted me to help them to reach their financial and personal goals? And I go to their city and I say, hey, let's have lunch. And they're excited to meet me, and I'm excited to meet them. That's the table that I will continue and love to create. And so that's how I did it. I stepped out on faith, but I did it with a plan. And I think that a lot of times we hear, okay, step out on faith, just go for it. Get out of get out of your fears, just do it. But that's great, but you want to do it with a plan and a little money in your pocket. Because starting a business costs. I don't care if even if you get something free, you only can free it so long because to be able to create a table, you need access, and a lot of times you got to pay for that. And it doesn't always have to cost a lot, but you at least want to have at least want to have a peace of mind that when you step out on faith, that you covered your home base. Because let me tell you something, it's easy when you're going. It's easy to go to work. You work harder in a business. If you ever thought about sleepless nights, starting a business, you will lose a lot of sleep. And I'm not going to be one of those people who are going to come up here and sugarcoat anything and tell you, oh, it's great. Oh, I love what I do. But was it hard in the beginning? Yes. Trial and error and experience. I said that in the beginning of this interview. But at the end of it all, how I created my table was being my authentic self, and I shared my story on social media and on platforms and in stages and interviews like this, just to let people know who I am and what I'm not, and what makes me different from anybody else in this space is that I'm not just going to show you the wins. If you follow me on social media, I show you the losses too. I talk about those things too. And so that's why God continues to put me at tables like this so that I can continue to create a bigger table and go into different territories. So thank you, Ashley, for allowing me to continue to make more chairs at my table.
I love it. And like I said, you're doing some amazing things. Sharita, I consistently follow you, and you're doing some amazing things. You're not just talking. You have the results. So like I told my listeners earlier, she is someone to connect with, someone to know, because I just want to commend you for creating that space to financially educate people on how important it is to have your finances in order, how important it is to set financial goals in order to get to the next level.
Thank you.
Yes. So what can we expect from you the rest of 2019? We're in quarter 3, and I know you've already done some amazing things, Sharita. So what can we expect from you the rest of 2019?
In 2019, I'm actually a few days away. I will be traveling to Florida for an amazing opportunity. I'll be in D.C. in September, but I have a I actually was going to be releasing a webinar in late September. That's going to be, again, it's for the masses, but I'm keeping it to about 1,000 people because I said I wanted to reach 1,000 people before the fourth quarter to help them to really get into a position to win in 2020, because 2020, like I told my eye doctor a few weeks ago, I said, you know what, I look at it as a personal and a financial thing, but I said from a financial standpoint, 2020 is just like your eye doctor. It's clear vision, and my goal is to help 1,000 people in 2020 to be clear on their vision, whether that's in their personal life, their business, or their finances. And so you'll see more of me. Definitely follow my social media. Oh, I wish I could just share it, but Orlando is going to be absolutely amazing and is going to allow me to do that. I will be at FinCon in Washington, D.C., and we'll be doing a meetup there. But you guys will definitely see more of me from the webinar, the live trainings. I will be coming to a lot of you guys' city just because I want to be able to to be in the space. I want to sit with you and talk about your budgets, not just talk about them over the phone or the internet, some of the cities I will be come to. And a lot of you guys, a lot more people have asked me, how can I connect with you more? How can I learn more about you? Just know that I'm confirming with this, so you guys hold me accountable. I've shelved it last year, but I will be releasing a book, so you'll get to know a little bit more about me and why I'm so passionate about finances. But I'm also going to be teaming up with my husband, and you guys will get to see the other side of me. He's a lot more of that YOLO lifestyle, but so we'll be doing a podcast together very soon. So that way you guys can really get an insight of who I am when it comes to faith, family, and finance. But you also get to see the other side of what it's not all about money because that's not his thing, but we work together. And to be able to see a couple who comes in and just lets you know that it's not easy. But you can do it. But you all definitely have to have the same mindset to be able to do that. So you guys will definitely see that. And in 2020, there will be a summit in Houston, Texas. And I'm super, super excited about it. So, Ashley, I will definitely keep you posted and your listeners about what's going on with me. But if you definitely want to see what's going on with me, I know everybody says follow you on social, but the first people who hear anything about what's going on with me, whether I'm coming to a city, I'm doing something free, or I want to just take some of the people who follow me to lunch. I love to come to different cities and say, hey, guys, lunch on me. Let's talk finances and food. Show me in your city where's the best place to go eat. It's on me, and we will go talk about some finances. Bring your table, bring your tablets, whatever. Let's have a powwow so that way I can get to know you and you can get to know me. So I will definitely be traveling across the country in 2020. So I hope to see a lot of you guys. So if you want to learn more about that, again, my website is the very first thing before we post anything on social, before you see anything that's marketing-wise. I let everybody know on my website. You can always follow me or try to join if you want to get into learn more about the Money Mindset Movement, just kind of see what we did from January to June. You can go to Facebook. It's called the Money Mindset Movement. You'll see my picture. You'll know it's that group because it's going to be me, and it says it's sponsored by Self-Lender. So with that, I am, again, thankful, Miss Ashley, for allowing me to come to this wonderful table. I'm Sharita Humphrey. If for anybody who knows it, yes, I have the initials of SMH, but I've had to make my own thing. I'm sharing money healing for those who are feeling broken and are looking for healing in their finances, in their credit, or their personal lives. Follow me at SharitaMHumphrey.com.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So please follow her and support her on all social media platforms. Sharita, I would like to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come to the table tonight. This was an amazing interview and being able to share the wisdom and knowledge to help somebody else cross. So I look forward to
I love that. I love that. Yes. You created the table for us, to people like myself and other special guests, to help somebody cross. Thank you, Tyler Perry, for that message. I am here to help you cross.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. So thank you so much. And I look forward. I can't wait to bring you back.
All righty. Thank you, guys. I look forward to coming back. And the next time I come back, we'll be doing something even more amazing.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. And I would like to give a special thanks to Tammy Collins-Marquis and John Schamberger. I would also like to give a special thanks to author Kimberly McLemore, and a special thanks to my intern Savon from Virginia Commonwealth University and my intern Sarah from Tennessee State University. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.
I am so delighted to share with you this book, Fierce. Fierce was a vision that God gave to me during the greatest battle of my life, and it was birthed through fire from my very existence. This book was written to encourage you, strengthen you, and to inspire you that you can be strong and you can hold on by the grace of God. It is available through ebook on Amazon. And speaking of books, I want to introduce you to Visionary Coaching and Consulting Group, LLC. We offer child care coaching, ministerial coaching, author coaching, pastoral coaching, motivational speaking, inspirational speaking, conferences, and so much more. Our vision at BCCG is seeing your work come to life.